Imagine being so allergic to effort you turn rocks into luxury items. Dahl diagnosed humanity's terminal idiocy in 1975 and prescribed 1.5 million people a literal sack of gravel for $4 apiece. Adjusted for inflation, 84 million in 6 months selling something homeless men throw at cops for free. His genius wasn't packaging river stones from Rosarito Beach into cardboard prisons labeled Pet Rock. No, his Trojan horse was weaponizing embarrassment. You didn't buy a rock, you bought social immunity. The manual included phrases like house training tips with step-by-step instructions to place rock on newspaper. If rock doesn't perform, don't punish rock. It's not rock's fault, turning buyers into accomplices. Confess you wasted money, or gaslight yourself into believing this sedimentary clown was charming. Humans chose self-delusion. Always do. It's the same mental gymnastics that convinced people Beanie Babies were retirement funds, or that NFTs weren't just right-clickable hallucinations. Dahl exploited the same psychological hack as modern influencers, shame-proofing. The box explicitly mocked you with 100% obedience guarantee and doesn't need to be fed. This wasn't marketing. This was a taunt. A dare to admit you fell for the dumbest con since the Catholic Church started selling paradise passes in the 16th century. But humans crumble under social friction like wet chalk. We'd rather bankrupt ourselves than tell the clerk, actually, I do have self-respect, and walk out. The Pet Rock's manual even listed commands: sit, stay, roll over, knowing full well owners would anthropomorphize dumb minerals to avoid existential dread. Sound familiar? It's Fortnite skins for boomers. Same dopamine hit of pretend ownership. Same herd mentality. Same financial hemorrhage for imaginary status. Only difference: rocks don't get patch updates to fix their glitchy personalities. Here's the autopsy. Dahl sold stacks of rocks faster than actual miners by recognizing humans crave punishment. We want to be scammed. Need it. Like Victorian aristocrats paying for jars of tuberculosis vapor because suffering proved their refinement. Today, it's crypto punks. Tomorrow, it'll be AI-generated wombat memes sold as demotional support assets. My ex-wife Karen still owns 3 Beanie Babies and a Chromie Squiggle NFT. She calls them investments. I call it proof evolution has a 10,000-year prank buffer. Dahl just took notes from history's greatest grifters, the Catholic relic trade, snake oil salesmen, Elizabeth Holmes's fake blood device, and distilled it into its purest form. A rock in a box with instructions on how to feel less stupid about buying a rock in a box. The ending? Predictable. 5-ton surplus of unsold pet rocks dumped into San Francisco Bay. Fishermen sued Dahl for creating artificial reefs that snagged nets. Even in failure, the rocks kept trolling. And humanity, we learned nothing. 20 years later, we bought virtual pets. 30 years later, digital land. Stupidity isn't a phase, it's our renewable energy source. Dahl just built a better stupid turbine. America 1974. Peak post-Watergate cynicism meets pre-disco desperation. The air smelled like polyester melting on a George Foreman grill and regret. Therapy animals had just exploded, not literally, though that would have made this story interesting because every middle manager with an ulcer and a comb-over decided goldfish were cheaper than Prozac. Common myth. Wrong. A mental health goldfish costs $200 a year, adjusted for inflation. More than your entire Steam library. Let's autopsy why desk jockeys chose fish. Dogs required walks aka seeing other humans. Cats, walking lawsuits waiting to shred your shag carpet masterpiece. But fish, silent judges swimming laps in a solvent tank, until you inevitably forgot the pH balance and turned their tank into a Chernobyl diorama. My neighbor Bob killed 7 generations of Gil Freuds before realizing his therapy pet was giving him survivor's guilt. Enter dog owners martyrs of suburbia. These masochists spent 12-hour days peddling TPS reports only to come home to creatures that perfected the art of eating homework and shitting sentimentality. Their reward? Walking a neurotic fur missile through a minefield of suspicious fire hydrants at 6 a.m. Small talk with Mrs. McGillicuddy, mandatory. Cold existential dread. On the house. The American dream was clawing its way out of a 6-foot lint roller every damn morning. So naturally, capitalism offered solutions dumber than the problems. The pet light market boomed with products so embarrassing they'd make a pharaoh blush. Robo-pup trade mark a wind-up metal mutt that barked Morse code for kill me. Comparable to today's emotional support Tamagotchis if Satan designed them. Zen garden hamsters, literally just a box of sand you exorcised with a plastic rake. Sold faster than actual rodents because the only thing they transmitted was lethargy. The plant pal trade mark a dying fern with googly eyes. Proof humans will personify photosynthesis if it means avoiding small talk at the water cooler. Dahl didn't invent stupidity, he weaponized its stockpile. The Silicon Valley of his era sold grief-repellent spray and authentic moon air canisters to these same rubes. Your grandma bought Zodiac birth rocks. Your dad joined a pyramid scheme selling dehydrated Polynesian confidence water. Clinical insanity disguised as retail therapy. Suddenly rocks weren't geology, they were lifestyle. Behold Dahl's 23-page manifesto declaring geology the hottest new hobby since lobotomies went out of fashion. The instructional guide possessed all the logical coherence of Elon Musk's Twitter algorithm breastfed by a coked-up circus monkey. Lesson 1. Sit. Accomplished by not physically interacting with your mineral companion. Groundbreaking stuff. My marriage counselor attempted this technique during our sessions. Counterpoint. Human males require marginally more stimulation than sedimentary rock. Then came play dead. The shocking revelation that flipping your rock upside down creates the illusion of mortality. Urbanites approached this trick with the gravitas of Oppenheimer building his little son toy. A Cincinnati accountant logged 700 consecutive successes in his rocks leather-bound journal before realizing he'd been using driveway gravel from Lowe's. The stone registered its disapproval via utter geological indifference. Rollover offered grown adults permission, eating stones like Olympic shot putters while pretending their pet exhibited autonomy. Darwin slid into our DMs immediately. 6 husbands reporting unfortunate accidents near sliding glass doors. 13 wives noting suspicious aerodynamic paths toward vintage china cabinets. Imagine Logan Roy teaching his grandsons about accountability through tax fraud. That's the energy here. Stay unlocked gold tier delusion. A disobedient specimen indicates handler incompetence. Earthquakes, gravity. No, clearly you failed as a mineral parent when your pet sandstone immigrated south via mudslide. The Great American Rock Abandonment Crisis birthed landfill Stonehenges and third-grade guilt exhibits titled, "We Forgot How to Love." Warranty departments spontaneously combusted. Midwestern matrons demanded compensation when their courts failed to deter porch pirates like some bargain bin security Rottweiler. Berkeley freshmen sued for emotional damages when their nice showed apathy toward Radiohead's OK Computer. Corporate's official troubleshooting guide specified, "Is rock unconscious?" And confirmed specimen isn't hallucinogenic lichen. Peak farce arrived with accredited PhD in obedience certificates, evaluating whether owners could identify their rock in a lineup of identical minerals. Karen fed X hours to Bhutan for enlightenment recalibration. The llama replied, "Excellent doorstop, compliments to geological processes." Meanwhile, Sears catalogs peddled rock-sized turtlenecks crocheted by Ambien-addicted soccer moms. $9.99 premium accessories for literal gravel. Meanwhile, in Beverly Hills, influencers inserted CBD crystals into their rocks' non-existent bloodstreams. Actual leather leashes rotted on shelves while people velcroed air tags to shale. Because nothing says healthy coping mechanisms like microchipping your denial. Dahl weaponized capitalist despair. His pro tips suggested venting about your micromanaging boss to your Gabbro, more empathetic than your trophy wife during prenup negotiations. The disclaimer whispered truth, success unlikely, much like your 401k. But America slurped this nihilistic Kool-Aid because disciplining feldspar was cheaper than therapy. Just when you assume the circus folded, enter advanced maneuvers. Fetch involved hurling a decoy rock while your pet achieved Buddhist nothingness. Speak required supergluing a Bluetooth speaker to Dolomite and arguing about cryptocurrency. It was less pet training, more mass hallucination. The collectible Beanie Baby phenomenon drenched in kombucha and existential dread. Litigation blossomed. A Malibu wellness guru sued when her crystal failed to manifest lottery numbers, despite thorough Reiki alignment. Texas criminalized competitive rolling after quartzite drag races collapsed a Buc-ee's. The crown jewel. A Kansas City woman who trained her limestone to heal via percussive pavement therapy, then issued a $1,099 claiming it as a tax-deductible emotional support business partner. Dahl's real hustle was naming our collective insanity. Crypto bros mining Dogecoin. Gwyneth Paltrow's Jade Egg Collective. That eerie moment when your Roomba stares a little too long before cleaning. We're not buying rocks. We're prepaying for our own tombstones while pretending it's a spa day. By October 1975, Dahl's warehouse looked less like a business and more like Walter White's storage locker, if Heisenberg had swapped meth production for smuggling Ontario River stones wrapped in shredded tax documents and existential dread. Picture every Seattle to Sarasota Karen hyperventilating to igneous chunks about their overdue library books, armed with the same desperation Taylor Swift fans reserve for Eras tour tickets. Holiday pressure transformed American consumers into rabid raccoons fighting over shiny garbage. Target's surveillance footage captured grown men executing WWE moves on octogenarians for the last basalt. Companion Thanksgivings, warm fuzzes replaced by primitive rock-grabbing instincts. Retailers ascended to pure theater. At FAO Schwarz, velvet ropes cordoned off Pet Rock VIP lounges, beside $600 porcelain dolls that suddenly seemed reasonable. Kmart cashiers developed repetitive stress injuries, scanning boxes labeled mediocre sedimentary pal trademark. Come December, suburbanites performed full Naruto sprints through mall parking lots, not for Tickle Me Elmo, but for literal geological debris. The Akron Toys R Us employed riot police after tussling soccer moms weaponized Tonka trucks during a brawl over whose minivan deserved display shale in damaged packaging. The cosmic punchline. Americans literally tripped over superior granite on every sidewalk. Street vendors outside 7-Elevens peddled museum-grade specimens for loose change. Yet BMW drivers needed the $4.99 branded version because Dahl's packaging featured existential jokes about nice commitment issues. Beverly Hills Yelp warriors lamented, "You can't download emotional validation from Central Park Pebbles." Doc stars for milky quartz arriving with too much Zen energy. These rubes would have fist-fought over blockchain-linked NFTs of moist air if marketed as vaporwave emotional support packets. Dahl mastered Christmas FOMO better than Zuckerberg harvesting dopamine hits. His holiday campaign screamed. Tectonically indifferent Pluton, the perfect gift for relationships maintained solely through obligation. Post-Macy's Santa panic attacks drove dads to bypass actual jewelry stores at 11:47 p.m. on 12/24, racing toward Dolomite validation like crypto bros chasing the next Shiba Inu pump. The numbers became performance art. 1.5 million units sold by December 26th, including 300,000 final hour purchases made through liquor-soaked desperation. Plot twist. Most rocks achieved landfill nirvana faster than Super Mario falling down a pit, buried beside forgotten Beanie Babies and Juicero presses. Surviving specimens ignited marital Armageddon when husbands realized emotional support conglomerate cost triple their wedding rings. This wasn't retail, it was TikTok brain rot meets Black Friday hysteria, predating viral stupidity by decades. Our modern parallels. Spending grocery money on AI-generated art of apes smoking cigars, or betting retirement funds on Dogecoin because Elon Musk sneezed during a full moon. Humanity doesn't crave functionality, we itch to dump cash into cults of personality, worshipping glorified driveway gravel. The pet rock phenomenon proved our species never truly matures. We just trade tantrums over playground toys for meltdowns over blockchain-linked JPEG. Gary Dahl peddled neither minerals nor companionship. He perfected candidate Trump's playbook for monetizing collective idiocy before Twitter existed to amplify it. But Dahl's true black magic wasn't moving rocks, it was weaponizing buyers' remorse before the purchase. The manual's Bad Rock section was the first recorded instance of corporate gaslighting as retail strategy, explicitly listing flaws like doesn't fetch and prone to geological indifference. It transformed obvious deficiencies into charming quirks, the same psychological jiu-jitsu used today by Tesla owners justifying panel gaps you could lose a toddler in. This TOS for sedimentary disappointment forced buyers to rehearse their own excuses, creating Stockholm Syndrome before the box was even opened. Modern parallels. OnlyFans creators labeling themselves moderately interactive while delivering content as engaging as a pet rock convention, or tech startups disclosing potential revenue irregularities in pitch decks while fleecing VCs dumber than Cambrian trilobites. My ex-wife Karen bought 7 of these lithic hostages as investment pieces, then tried deducting them as emotional support minerals on our taxes. The IRS auditor's smirk could have powered a small volcano. Years later, she'd swear her remaining specimen helped her manifest a pyramid scheme involving Himalayan salt lamps. The rock's greatest trick, tricking humans into retroactively inventing virtues for their terrible choices, exactly like crypto bros claiming they believed in blockchain after buying Cum Rocket token at peak hype. Dahl's real product was pre-forgiven regret packaged as satire, until morons mistook it for sincerity. The identical brain rot that convinces grown adults to buy verified Twitter checkmarks just to post, FR though, under Elon's memes. By christening consumer shame as self-awareness, he created the ultimate feedback loop. People proudly displayed these silicate failures like badges of honor, foreshadowing modern flexes of proudly owning unplayable Atari NFTs or $800 Balenciaga garbage bags. So here's your extinction-level CTA, you magma-brained descendants of rock worshippers. Fail better. Fail faster. Invest in the next grift touting incompetence as authenticity, whether that's dehydrated cloud, water sold by LinkedIn lunatics, or AI BART generators trained on stolen childhoods. Because let's autopsy the fossil record. Your neurons clearly fossilized during the Ordovician period anyway.